Good morning, Raptor freaks. Like out here, and I'm a little early, just because I'm ready, and I figured I might as well start the stream now. The Raptors beat the Charlotte Hornets last night to beat them in the season series 2-1, and the Raptors got their 30th win of the season. It was a fantastic game, a 30-point blowout rout, which was just awesome. And I've got the stars of the game, I've got the straight goods, I've got the Instagram stories, I got the classic card. So let's do a reaction stream, Raptor Freak family. How about that? And let's go. Yeah, what a great last home game of the season. The Raptors giving the fans a great entertainment in the arena last night, winning by 30. Jamal Shed came out and gave the goodbye speech to the fans. We were wondering which Raptor would get the honor of coming out before the game with the microphone and saying, thanks, everybody, for a great year. We're proud to be Raptors. We're kicking some butt, and we love you. Thank you for being the best fans in the NBA. Yeah, woo, it's true. In some ways, the GOAT night was about one of the biggest GOATs for the Raptors community, and that is the fans. Seriously, we have some of the best fans in the world, and in some ways, we're going to have to do a Share the Love Club for our fan base in some ways this summer, because it's true. The quote of LeBron James when after we lost to them in the Eastern Conference Finals in 2016, when our fans stayed behind after the game was over and appreciated the team afterwards, cheering for them. LeBron's like, you don't see this. You don't see this. The fans lost. They didn't win the game. And they're still hanging out after the game's over, chanting for their team in admiration and appreciation for a fantastic season. LeBron recognizes the greatness of our fan base. Kevin Durant recognizes the greatness of our fan base. And Siakam on the Young Man in the Three with Andrew Nebhart saying the fans in Toronto are just second to none. There's nobody else like it. Kyle Lowry understands the best fans in the NBA are with Toronto. So it makes sense. We would do a fan night, a fan appreciation game, a night, because they do that for all the teams, but this one hits a little harder because it's a GOAT fan appreciation night, and the fans are a greatest of all time. And that's just the damn truth. I'm sorry. They had a lot of good honorings during this game last night. They brought out the Raptor, celebrated him for 30 years of mascot excellence. They brought out Herbie and celebrated the 30 years of Herbie Kuhn being our in-arena announcer. They brought out Nab Bhatia and celebrated him as a super fan, somebody who's been to pretty much all the home games of the entire Raptors history. They've been honoring everybody and doing a good job. They, of course, took care of Leo Routens and Paul Jones recently. They had another ceremony back in the Drake room, I guess, or whatever, the speakeasy room in the Scotiabank Arena with Leo Routens and Doug Smith and Paul Jones and other day oneers who've been here for a whole 30 years of the Raptors history. That was awesome. To see a specialized jersey given to somebody like Leo, who taught this country basketball on the broadcast as a broadcaster for 30 years. Yeah, it's people like him that taught people in this country what the sport of basketball and the rules and what the know about it are. It's Leo. That's right. Yeah, and he was educating, too, before the game. What his job is, he educated us on the mystery surrounding the Michael Malone firing. Yeah, Leo gave us the straight goods on it. In fact, he illuminated the whole situation. Everybody's thinking, why the hell would the Denver Nuggets fire their coach a week before the playoffs start? Well, Leo told us, basically. Of course, he said he's worked with Michael himself when he was the coach of Team Canada. Michael Malone was one of his assistants. So he knows Mike really well. And he said that, what he is pretty sure what happened in Denver is that Malone wore out his welcome because he's a coach that's built like his father, Brendan Malone, the original Raptors coach, is an amazing coach, but he's an old school coach. He's the kind of coach like Bobby Knight. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, he's an abusive, very drill instructor kind of tough coach, not a very warm coach, a very ordering, like no remorse and no sympathy kind of coach. Just very straight up, like we are trying to win all out, and you guys can't be wimps, and y'all need to be tough, and I'm going to yell at y'all, and I may degrade you a bit to try and get what I want from you. Well, he's been the coach for Jokic pretty much most of his whole entire career, right? And from what I just told you, Do you think a fun-loving personality like Nikola Jokic totally gets along with a coach like that to a degree? Yeah, for a while. But maybe once you win a championship and you've had a couple years and your roster's kind of fallen apart and you're not competing at the same level you were a couple years ago, it gets old. It gets tired to have that guy yelling at you and telling you what you need to do like a drill sergeant. So that's part of what Leo speculated is that Brendan Malone's son, Michael, who's a lot like his father, and this was a similar problem in the first year of the Raptors when he was our coach with Isaiah Thomas. In some ways, Isaiah wanted him to chill out and not try and work, compete so hard. Try not try to be so like crazy with yelling and stuff like just chill. But Brendan couldn't. He wanted to win, and I appreciate him for that. And well, Michael is the same kind of coach that his dad was. Very, very much old school type of coach that's just not in basketball as much. It's very rare at this point. To be a good coach in basketball, you have to coddle egos now. You can't be the drill sergeant coach. In some ways, you got to be more like Darko. You can't be like that, Michael. And well, in some ways, that's what's found out. Although we know he's going to get another job, and it's highly speculative that he'll be the coach of the San Antonio Spurs next year. Well, yeah, Leo filling in the gaps. The other stuff with Calvin Booth is, well, they weren't getting along. Calvin Booth and Michael Malone were at odds because Michael saw the disintegration of the quality of his team with the player personnel, and he was on Calvin Booth to help him and say, "Come on, man, do something, do something." But Calvin Booth ran that team in the ground with his resources that they had no leeway or flexibility. It's kind of the opposite of the Raptors. The Raptors have operated with very good flexibility. In fact, more flexibility than most of the other NBA teams, whereas the Nuggets, our hands are tied and all their resources and their picks and their money is all messed up. And they really don't have a lot of choices. Well, the conflict between Malone and Booth was getting toxic. And well, that's part of why they canned Michael and they did not decide to extend the contract of Calvin Booth. So they'll both be leaving. And because of this situation, it is highly speculative to get any leeway to be able to try and improve the team and change things. They may have to move Jokic and get a package of picks and young players to replenish and restart a rebuild in Denver. It's crazy. Anyway, I did a little sideways thing there with a little Michael Malone update because of Leo Routen's explaining it all. And that's what I was saying. My whole point is Leo Routen's has explained things to us about basketball for years now. And I appreciate you, Leo, in our 30th anniversary season. It was a special game last night, a 30-point blowout. And it was a lot of fun to watch. And we were on the Discord last night, a bunch of us in the RFF on the Discord talking during the game on the mics, seeing each other on the cameras and having fun watching the game and reacting to it and talking about the NBA and the Raptors in general. It was so fun. We had like 7 or 8 different RFF in there at different times. Trevor, MJ, Stillman, Neil was in there. Jillian came in there. Adriano came in there for a little while. We had a good little group of different Raptor freaks just come in and talk and chat for little parts of the game. Not everybody was there for the whole game. And, it was fun. It went really, really well. And I'm excited for more opportunities to watch games like this with you guys. We'll have the next one on Friday night. And then we'll have the last one of the season on Sunday against the Spurs. So, we got 2 more opportunities to do live watching through Discord together. And you can actually hear me and see me talking about the Raptors live during the game. This is something that y'all kind of wanted for a while. The chat was good on Facebook, but this is a whole other level of interaction during the game. And I really do like it. It's a lot of fun. It was fun because Neil was like checking the box score and listening on the radio. And we got synced up with the time and just watched the game. It was a good time. This game was fun. We had a lot of good contributions from the rookies. We had a lot of good stuff from different players, and we beat the socks off the Hornets. And it was just fun. There were a lot of good highlights. There's a lot of good 3-point shooting. There was, just good stuff happening. Jonathan Mogbo got a triple-double, which is the only rookie in the whole entire league to get a triple-double this year. And that's a big deal. I'm going to go right to ESPN right now because they have their – this is so stupid, man. They've got their rookie rankings for the end of the year, and they have a top 20, guys. top 20 rookies of the year for this year. And do you think there's a single Raptor on this list? No, there isn't. There is not a single Raptor on this list. This is done by Jeremy Woo, you idiot. Now, I'm going to say this, Jeremy Woo and ESPN. You're going to rue the day that you came out with rookie rankings for this year and you omitted any of the Raptors rookie class from this year. You're going to rue it. You're going to be seen as idiots. You're going to be seen as experts that aren't experts because there's secrets that they don't know. You're going to be seen as people that don't do your complete job. You're going to see as idiots because honestly, just like if y'all had not given the rookie of the year to Scotty Barnes the year he won rookie of the year, you would have looked like foolish shit, Jeremy Woo. Because honestly, you can't tell me that Ryan Dunn and some of these other motherfuckers that you put on this top 20 rookies of the year are better than Jacoby Walter or Jamal Shed. No. The fact that y'all overlooked the whole entire rookie class for Raptors, which we got 5 quality rookies. We hit on all 5 of our requirements last summer for our draft. You guys are idiots. I'm going to say that right now. Y'all are idiots, and you're ignoring the Raptors on this rookie rankings is going to look really bad in the years to come. Because this Raptors rookie class this year is just like the one that had Pascal, Fred, and Jakob in it. And in the years to come, you're going to see Jacoby Walter emerge. You're going to see Jamal Shed be one of the steadiest point guards in this league. You're going to see what Jonathan Mogbo is the only fucking rookie this year that got a triple-double last night. It's really poor timing for your stupid-ass rankings and omitting the Raptors. Considering one of the Raptors rookies last night got a triple-double. He's the only rookie in the whole entire NBA that got a triple-double this year. So at ESPN, Jeremy Woo, 2-finger salute for y'all, man. Y'all's bias and overlooking the Toronto Raptors franchise is bullshit. And these young men deserve to be ranked in the top 20 rookies because they are like that. And when Jamal Shed makes this all-rookie team on one of the teams, y'all look foolish and stupid for overlooking him in your stupid-ass rankings. I mean, I can go over the rankings real quick with it. They think Risache is number 1. That's so stupid, man. How the hell can you say Zachariah Risache is the number 1 rookie in the league this year? What the hell did he do this year? I barely saw the man play. And honestly, between him and Sar was the better rookie. I don't understand why you put this idiot, the number 1 pick, at number 1 just because he was the number 1 pick and there's no clear-cut rookie of the year. No, that's bullshit. Risache is not the best rookie this year. It is Steph Castle, who you have second. But yeah, the rookie of the year is going to be Stephon Castle. If it's Risache, I'll be shocked. I will be absolutely shocked if he is. Jeremy Woo, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. He's got Zach Edey at number 3. I mean, that I can make some sense of. I can make some sense of that. He put Klingon at number 4, which, you know what? He's a serviceable big guy, but really, number 4? I don't think so. He's not better than Buzelis, who's number 5. Buzelis is better than Klingon. Alex Sarr at number 6. Then they put Jalen Wells of the Grizzlies, who started a lot this year. It's understandable. He's in the top 10. Kel'el Ware at number 8. Okay. His stats aren't that much better than Jonathan's or anybody else's. Seriously. I mean, Yves Missy at number 9. The Baylor kid. You know what? You missed that Baylor guy. His name's Jacoby Walter. Jeremy Woo, you idiot. Filipowski. They put Filipowski at number 10. You know, he did have some skills. He's played very well. But once again, y'all are omitting at least 3 really good rookies on the Raptors. I don't care if you put Jamison Battle on this lineup or Shamshay. Shamshay's a project. Jamison Battle is a role player. And honestly, you could have put Jamison Battle on here for his excellence in three-point shooting as a rookie. He's the best three-point shooter as a rookie. But here you got Dalton Connect and all these other idiots on here. But you won't put Jamison Battle on here? I mean, seriously, these guys don't have stats that are better than our rookie stats. They're similar, and if not the same. And this bullshit of omitting every single one of our rookies is going to come back and haunt y'all down the road with this stupid ass post. Yeah, Dalton Connect, come on, man. Ryan Dunn, AJ Mitchell of the Thunder's number 20. No, you could have at least put Shed at number 20 at the bottom of your list, and no honorable mentions. So Jeremy Woo, ESPN, for ignoring the Raptors rookie class, 2-finger salute for y'all. And it's only going to make y'all look bad in the long run when they, you know, these rookies on the Raptors flourish and grow and become really good players in the years to come. It's going to make y'all look so bad that you overlook them like this. So stupid, man. All right, let me check in on the comments with you guys. We'll do the stars of the game and go over the box score and all the stuff we're doing here. Trevor's saying, stop telling people more than they need to know. Bad spirits block blessings. There's your words of wisdom. Yeah, I have a trouble with filter with myself. I overshare. I definitely overshare. I mean, I put myself at a detriment and vulnerable in some ways because of that. And I understand that. But in some ways, I can't help it. Lex is just him. He's going to be truthfully him and talking, what's going on. And that sucks in some ways because it does mess me up. In some ways, I could be a liar more often and not tell what's going on. And maybe my life would be easier. But it's so hard for me. And I think it has something to do with my autism that I just don't have a filter. And but I am trying to learn this to be more private and to not tell everything about what's going on with me. Some people say when you have plans and you're going to do something, just do them. Don't tell people you're going to do them because you might tell somebody who's not really your friend and they may they may try and mess up your plans. So I get this, Trevor J. I appreciate your words of wisdom, Commissioner Fun. This is good advice. It's good advice. Trevor's saying, what a game last night. Happy for Mogbo on his first triple-double. I didn't see it coming, honestly, but somebody did. His name is Lloyd. Yeah, this is so crazy. When Jonathan got a double-double the other day, Lloyd went on his Instagram and he put an Instagram story and he said, get a triple-double now. Well, a week later, now he's gotten the triple-double. And I messaged Lloyd last night after it happened. I said, Lloyd said something like, oh, I spoke it into existence. And I said, yeah, you did, man. I wrote him a message that said, you totally called this, Lloyd, that Jonathan would get a triple-double, and it happened. He makes him look real good. Who knows? Lloyd probably did talk straight to Jonathan and say, Jonathan, you could have got a triple-double. You just got some more assists, bro. You could have done it, man. And Jonathan's like, you know what, Lloyd, you're right. I'm going to go out there and try and do it. I'm going to use the power of God, and I'm going to get out there and do it. And he did. He did. All the glory of God. Jonathan Mogbo, everything he does is he's a vessel for the Lord. And the energy put into him to accomplish that feat last night is all the glory to God. I mean, it's funny. I wrote Lloyd about that. I said, you called it, man. You got it. And he said he loved it. He put a little heart icon on my comment. And I said to him, I said, Lloyd, also, you were on the broadcast last night once again because they showed the draft party for Jonathan Mogbo in Florida when he got drafted to the Raptors. And, of course, Lloyd is at that party, and you can see him with Scotty and Jonathan when Jonathan gets drafted and Scotty's crying and hugging Jonathan. And we found out before the game that Jonathan never cries. That's what an interview with Kate Burness told us. They put Scott and Jonathan as best friends on a little game show like the Newlywed Game where they write on a dry erase board answers to questions like who's the most stylish kid when they were little. And they were answering it. And, of course, they both thought they were more stylish than each other. But it was brought up that, whether Scotty had ever seen Jonathan Mogbo cry. And he said, no, I've never seen him cry. He's just not an emotional guy. And Jonathan's just like, I don't cry. I get happy. And when I get happy, I don't cry. But Scotty does. Scotty got emotional when Jonathan got drafted. And he cried when he got drafted, when he was there. So, yeah, good stuff. There's a little bit of a celebration of friendship between Barnes and Mogbo on the broadcast last night. And then seeing Jonathan get the triple-double, well, that's friendship in some ways. Friendship in the basketball court. That's right. So good. Trevor's saying Luka cried in his return to Dallas, but then dropped 45 points last night. Did they win that game? I'm going to say this right now. Yeah, you can tell this is kind of like terrorism. It's abuse. What's happened to Luka Doncic. He seems like he's a sad person that got taken somewhere that he didn't want to totally be. And coming back and seeing Dallas and being there and seeing how much they care about him, his tribute video, man, it just doesn't seem right what happened this year. The trading of Doncic to the Lakers just reeks of bullshit, and it just seems like it was not the right thing to do. And I know that Mavs Nation would completely agree with me, and they feel like their heart's been ripped out. It's absolutely a travesty. And in some ways, you can see from Doncic's response in returning that this is something that's like, man, it's crazy. James is here. Good to see James. I think we're locked into 7th pick. 7 might jump up like last year when we got Scotty, like the year when we got Scotty. Yeah, this is really surprising. We were figuring it out last night during Discord that Neil said basically like, we were still in a place where we could have fallen behind the Spurs. the Spurs lose all their games and we win all our games, they would have maybe possibly been, we would have flipped out in the way that we don't want to with the draft odds. And so that's changed. Now that can't happen because as of last night, because of Harrison Barnes of the Spurs hit a big shot late in the game last night against the Warriors and did a buzzer beater. And they beat the Warriors last night. And that means statistically, the Raptors cannot get a worse record, cannot get a better record than the Spurs. The Spurs can't get a worse record than us. So now the Raptors are in a position with the last 2 games of the season, the Texas two-step, to win and not have to worry about losing on purpose. So in some ways, all the pressure's off. They're locked into the exact spot they're going to be for the draft lottery right now because the Spurs won on a buzzer beater last night. If the Spurs had lost and then lost their next game, the game on Sunday against us, if we win tomorrow against Dallas, that would have meant that like we needed to lose for sure against the Spurs on Sunday to ensure our draft position with the lottery. So it's a cool thing in some ways. A good job, Harrison Barnes, for going ahead and beating the Warriors last night. I think in some ways he had some get back because he did play for the Warriors back in the day. And, there's probably shit talking. And, the Warriors did play their top team. They did not play like they're tanking. So the Spurs actually did compete with Steph Curry at a top level to win that game. And that's pretty impressive. So all the pressure's off about losing or winning right now for the Raptors because they're secured in their spot and it can't change. So I would like to see them win their last 2 games. I would like to see them finish the season with 32 wins. Magic Johnson. Yeah, I want to see that. I want to see that happen. So, yeah, we'll have to see. And as James has pointed out, the last time the Raptors were in this position in the lottery, they got the 4th pick and Scotty Barnes came to our team. So I'm just saying this stuff can happen. We can get in the top 4. We can stick around like 6 through 7. We could be 8 even, and we'd be fine. In fact, there was an interview with Masai that wasn't broadcast, but Kayla Gray was in the back talking to Masai. And Masai, man, he's so awesome. And I know I'm doing a good job here because I'm saying stuff that Masai would say before he says it. And he said exactly what I've said the last month to Raptors fans on the Raptor Freak channel is that he don't care where we pick. He don't. Masai said it straight up to Kayla Gray, and she relayed the message to us that we don't care where we pick. We don't care where the lottery ball lands. This is what Masai said. This draft is really good. There's going to be a good player no matter what happens for us. And they feel fully confident that no matter how this draft goes, they're going to get a player that they want, no matter how the lottery balls go. So there's no, like I said, what did I say a couple weeks ago? We don't have to worry about the lottery, Raptors fans, because our front office drafts on skill, not on luck. And this man is a badass. Masai Ujiri is a president of the Raptors that was a scout originally. Very first thing that he did in the NBA was scouting. So that's his bread and butter. That's his forte. He's not an executive. He's not a lawyer. He's a former player that turned into a scout. And that's a different kind of GM or team president because he knows what he's doing. He knows how to look at talent. And in some ways, he could be the guy there. They don't even need one of our scouts. They don't need Bobby. Masai Ujiri could go to the basketball event and watch the player that they're trying to scout, and he can do the scout himself because he's like that. And that's what I try and tell Raptors fans. We're not the Wizards. We're not the Jazz. We're not the Hornets. They need luck. They have bad front offices that don't know what they're doing exactly. And they need luck of the ping pong balls putting them higher so that they have a better chance of getting the right pick because they're higher. But we don't because we have skill. We draft on skill. And Masai said it last night, and Kayla Gray relayed the message. He ain't worried about the draft, just like I'm not worried about the draft, because he trusts his own skills on how to draft players, and we're going to be fine no matter what. It'd be awesome if we got 4th again. Wouldn't that be cool? If we just all of a sudden the luck happened again, where the Raptors were in the 7th spot and they jumped up the 4th, just like the year we got Scotty Barnes. Think about that. It's very possible. We've seen it happen. We've seen it happen already. Trevor's saying WNBA draft night tickets sold out next Monday night in the 14th. That's cool. So WNBA has a great following. People are excited and interested more and more. They're building off of the year of Caitlin Clark last year, and they're running with that momentum. Yeah, this is great. I love hearing that their draft event has sold out already. That's fantastic. Yeah. And Trevor's saying we have 7 Canadian players in the playoffs. In the NBA playoffs, there's 7 Canadian players. Well, the most important one is the one in Oklahoma City, the one that plays along another Canadian named Lou Dort. Yeah, those guys are the ones that I'm putting a lot on to go far and hopefully win the championship. I'd like to see that. Nako's here. Good to see you, Gerald. Gerald, I want you in that Discord with us sometimes, man. Just come in and say hi and come in and say hello and hang out a little bit. I know you're a working guy. You're busy working at the golf course, but, it'd be good to see you in the Discord some. Also, I saw Abram last weekend. I went downtown, went to a clown show, and I asked you if you could come, but you were busy. But, yeah, it was good to catch up with Abram and hang out with him a little bit. Abram in this world situation right now is not totally fun to hang around, Gerald, just so you know. Abram. Oh my gosh, yeah. Let's see. That's some high defensive IQ Mogbo was showing. Great athleticism and footwork. Yeah, let's go look at the stars of the game. Yeah, he was doing a lot of different things on the court last night. Now, y'all may be surprised. I'm not going to give Jonathan the number 1 star of the game. We deliberated this after the game, actually. Blackhawk and Fiercey and I. And we were kind of going over the stars of the game and picking who we thought should be the star. And, it's the obvious choice is the guy who got the chain and the interview and the triple-double as a rookie. But in some ways, there's some of his game last night that annoyed me. The Raptors last night only had 8 turnovers as a team. And as a young team playing against another young team that really wasn't that good, it's real easy to fall off the cliff with excellence and playing right when the other team is young and inexperienced and weird too. And, well, the Raptors played to a high standard of taking care of the ball amidst that and only turned the ball over 8 times last night. That's 2 times a quarter. That's fantastic. That's really, really, really good considering the average age of the Raptors that were playing and the quality of the opponent we were playing. You can really turn into something like it's catching. These are turnovers and bad play because it just devolves into G League level. But no, the Raptors were very poised and very dedicated to taking care of the ball. And I appreciate that. Now, Jonathan was the only guilty culprit. And this is why I'm not giving him the star of the game. He had 4 turnovers. He had 4 of the 8 turnovers. And he didn't shoot that well either. He shot okay, 7 of 16. But that disqualified him. And the person I want to give the star of the game for last night is Jared Rhoden. That's right. Jared Rhoden came in off the bench. In 30 minutes, he scored 23 points. He was the leading scorer for the Raptors last night. He was 8 of 12 from the field overall, 3 of 5 from 3, 4 of 4 at the free throw line, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, plus 26 also. So Jared Rhoden was just really good quality all around. He's been unsung. He hasn't gotten a chain yet, but I feel like he's really closed the season very strongly. And he totally deserves the 2-way next year and being on our team again. I see a lot of promise with him defensively. I see a lot of promise with him offensively. And Jared Rhoden, you're my number 1 star of the game for last night. Even though Mogbo got the chain and the triple-double, I'm recognizing you here on the Raptor Freak channel. So Jared Rhoden, keep plugging away, man. You're going to get your time and shine. You're going to get your time to shine. Now, Mogbo is the 2nd star of the game. A triple-double for him was 17 points, 10 rebounds, 11 assists, a plus 20, 36 minutes, 7 of 16 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3, made his free throws, 3 steals also. Yeah, Jonathan was awesome. I thought he was very, very good too. He was aggressive. And in the interview after the game, he said that Darko's been harping on him to dunk it. I'm so glad our coach has been saying that to him. That, all season, in the beginning of the season, Jonathan was sheepish around the basket about going up. He'd lay it up. He wouldn't do it stuff. Well, Darko's been yelling at him and telling him more and more, dunk the ball, dunk the ball. And, well, Jonathan's been listening. And him and Orlando Robinson have been dunking the ball way more than they were at the beginning of the season. They're now dunking the ball instead of just trying to lay it up soft. So good advice from our coach. And, Jonathan, thank you for listening. And we've been seeing some really good highlight dunks, some lobs from people like Scott to his best friend, Jonathan. That's the stuff that children dream of when they're kids. It's like, yeah, we're going to be in the NBA someday. Yeah, we are, Scott. And I'm going to throw you lobs. Yeah, you will. I'm going to catch them and I'm dunk them too. Yeah, yeah. These guys are 6. And they're talking about this. And now they're like 20 something and they are doing it. It's awesome, man. I love that. That's a beautiful story of success and coming up. The third star of the game is the other best friend. That's right. Let's go ahead and get the Step Brothers movie poster with John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell and put Scotty Barnes and Jonathan Mogbo's faces over it. That's right, Step Brothers. Scotty had a really good game, actually. He bounced back from being out a couple games with his hand injury to get a double-double. 17 points for Scott with 11 rebounds, 7 of 15 shooting. So not bad. 3 of 5 from 3. There were a couple of threes. He stepped right into it smooth and rhythm and just silky smooth. 3-point shots right through the net. No problem. No muss, no fuss. 5 assists also for Scott and a block, a +10. I thought he was very solid. The barbecue guys didn't play a whole lot in this game. Now, Scotty played more than IQ and RJ. But these guys had limited minutes, and even though we had the full complement of barbecue, it wasn't really a barbecue game because the other guys didn't really play that much. But Scotty did. He got a good amount of time out there, and he looked better. He's going to have to play the last 2 games to get to 65. So I fully expect Scotty to play both games in Texas. The fourth star of the game to me is the other Canadian guy, AJ Lawson. AJ came out there once again. He's just reveling in the playing for the Toronto Raptors. It's a childhood dream. And he you know what? He can't help but show how giddy he is for playing for the Raptors, being a kid from Brampton. Seriously, man. Like, you can look at AJ when he's on the court playing for the Raptors like last night, and you can see pure joy vibrating throughout his energetic, quick, fast body, running all around up and down the court, going for loose balls and steals, chasing down stuff, going at people with the ball really quick. He's one of the fastest guys in the league, honestly. It seems like it, at least. But yeah, AJ Lawson's living the dream, man. As a kid from the GTA, playing for the Toronto Raptors, a team that he used to watch and love his whole entire life. Pinch him. That man is dreaming. No, he's not. You're really playing, and you're getting NBA stats, and you're playing at a high level, and you've made it, my guy. In some ways, I love that you made it at this level with us and here. Sure, you played in the finals last year for the Dallas Mavericks. Sure, you've been in the league and had your call-ups from the G League and your moments of feeling good, but this one's the sweetest. This is the sweetest. The run around and bomb threes at the Scotiabank Arena crowd and hear the Toronto people cheering for you, one of their own. One of their own, a man that did the same thing that the people in the stands did for the team before. And now he's one of the guys on the court doing it. You got to love that, man. 28 minutes for AJ, 5 of 9 shooting, 2 of 5 from 3, 2 of 4 from free throw, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal, a +18 with 14 points. Just solid. The thing I like about AJ recently is it's not about volume. At some points in this season for him, whether it was with Long Island Nets, whether it was with G League, Raptors 905, it was about volume and scoring. He had to score because he was the main person, the scorer, the dude. Well, in some ways, his quality went down with the quantity. But right now, he's playing on quality instead of quantity because his shot attempts are limited on the Raptors and the rotation. He has to really make them count. And I like that he's focusing on, well, if I'm only going to get 9 shots, I'm going to make sure I make most of them. And that's important. And I like that because, you can shoot 20 shots and make 4 of them or 5 of them then. But if you shoot 9 and you make 4 or 5 of them, I'll like you a lot better, AJ. That's right. The last star of the game for me is going to be, I'm going to give it to the old head who came out and actually did a great job. Garrett Temple. Garrett Temple got in for 9 minutes at the end of the game, and he got 9 points. So Garrett filling it up, 4 of 6 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3, 1 assist, 2 steals, a +5. I just want to give Garrett some shine. He hasn't gotten a whole lot of stars this season, so I want to give him a star for just participation and having a pretty quality game. Who knows? He said after the game he very much does want to continue his NBA career and that he would like to be back with the Raptors specifically. And Darko said also in his interview that, yes, we love Garrett Temple very much. He's a glue guy for our team, and we would like to have him back next year. So who knows? Maybe there is a place, veterans minimum, for Garrett Temple to continue traveling with the young team of the Raptors and being that old head veteran that's around to help guide these guys. He's been fantastic. In some ways, he kind of is an old guy away from all the rest of them. Nobody's near his age on this team. In fact, he's almost doubled up some of these guys in age on our team. But in some ways, Garrett fits. Garrett works. Garrett is the guy who's on this team, who's the old head reference man. He's like, listen, well, this is how we do it, youngster. And this is how you should carry yourself. And this is how I dress. And this is how I am a professional basketball player. And in some ways, that example being around for people like Jacoby Walter is very valuable. Very, very, very valuable. So, Garrett Temple, for your hard work as a vet on this team and doing what you do, congratulations. Thank you. I appreciate you. I hope I do see you in the Raptors jersey next year. Some people may be this summer like, why do we keep bringing Garrett back? Well, if you're in the know, you know. If you don't, well, you're casual. And that's what I would tell you. You're casual if you don't understand why Garrett Temple's on this team. I wish Chris Boucher had gotten out there last night, but it didn't happen. In fact, Darko announced it in the pregame interview before anything because they asked him, the reporters. They said, are you going to play Chris tonight in the last game of the season at home in front of the Raptors fans and the possibility that he may never play for the Raptors again after the season? And Darko straight up flatly said, no, he will not play tonight. I'm telling you guys, that 50-game plateau has everything to do with what's going on with Chris. 50 games last year, 50 games this year. What is the wording in his contract? What is the stipulation? What is the caveat? What is the section that makes the Raptors say you're capped at 50 games and you cannot play a single game above that? I don't know. In some ways, we may never know. But in some ways, I want to know just because then it'll explain this mystery so much better. But I'm really sure the number 50 has everything to do with what's happened with Chris, guys. Everything to do. Because the same thing happened last year also. Chris got 50 games, and he sat for the rest of the year, and we all wondered why the hell he wasn't playing. It's the exact same thing that happened last year. So hopefully he will be back next year. But in some ways, we've already speculated his price might be too high for what we want to pay him. It sucks, man. I don't like that, man. I don't like that at all. I'm going to give an honorable mention to Jamison Battle. Jamison Battle was really good last night with dunks. Did you see that man throw it down with the left hand? That was awesome. He had like 2 or 3 dunks last night, and he was hitting his threes too to an extent. 4-11 for Jamison in 27 minutes, 2 of 8 from 3, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 10 points for Jamison on plus 14 on the court. Yeah, he was pretty good. Orlando Robinson, another honorable mention, just a point shy of a double-double. 4 of 10 from the field for the starting center. He missed all 4 of his 3 attempts, 1 of 2 at the free throw line, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, 5 fouls, a plus 16 with 9 points. Yeah, Orlando was in there fighting. Orlando was looking good. He was playing very, very well for us, I felt like. For the other 2 barbecue, RJ Barrett, only 14 minutes out there. But he filled it up, especially early. 4 of 11 for RJ, 3 of 7 from 3, which was pretty good. 1 rebound, 1 assist, 1 steal, 11 points, a plus 6 in 14 minutes. RJ didn't hardly play. He played 14 minutes. He played just over a quarter of the game. Manuel also 14 minutes, 3 of 6 from the field, 50%, 2 of 5 from 3, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 8 points for Manuel, a plus 6. Of course, he hit that 1 3 where he stepped into it, and he was quite far from the three-point line, and Scotty chased him. Scotty chased him, and IQ was trying to get away from him. That was pretty fun. That's the joy and the jubilation and the camaraderie and the connection and the chemistry of the Raptors right now, embodied in Emmanuel hits a crazy 3, and he's skipply down the court, and then Scotty's running to tackle him or something. I don't know what he was trying to do to him. It was like Emmanuel's like, get away from me, Scott. Yikes. Cole Schweider off the bench in his last game for the Raptors because he's going to be waived today, guys. Michael Grange reporting that Cole Schweider will be waived today, and there will be a new player coming, or there's speculation that they're going to convert A.J. Lawson to a different kind of contract so that they can have him in the fold for next year on the books. There's either him, this is what Grange is speculating on Blue Skies, that either they're going to waive Cole Schweider today, and either they're going to put a little bit down on A.J. Lawson to have him in the fold for next year for sure, or they're going to go get Colin Castleton back, and they're going to put him on a contract for us next year. So that's what Grange is speculating, that will be one of the 2 moves, either of those 2 moves. But Schweider's supposedly going to be waived today, guys, just so y'all know. That may mean that we have a new player or an open roster spot just for the last 2 games, and it's a money thing. I'm not totally sure. But Cole in his last game for the Raptors was a plus 29, the best plus minus of all the players. 3 for 8 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block, 8 points. Yeah, he got blocked bad by Taj Gibson, but his shot's so interesting. He has a different kind of shot structure and the way he does it, his form, than Grady or Jameson. He's just an interesting shooter. And when he's on, he's dialed in. Man, he really can shoot pretty good there. So, yeah, all the best to Cole Schwider. Nothing against you, man. It's not necessarily the right fit for you here in Toronto, but I hope you get somewhere in a good spot and you get to realize more of your NBA dream. Because nothing against the guy, man. He seems like a good dude. Totally like a good dude. That's me going over the box score with all the Raptors. Good stuff. I'll look on the other side real quick and give a couple of flowers. Yusuf Nurkic, 26 points on 12 and 19 shooting, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. Nick Smith Jr., 28 points, 8 of 13 shooting, also had 10 assists, 6 of 9 from 3. So Nick Smith and Yusuf Nurkic, the big thorns in the side from the other side, but they really didn't have their best team out there. Those were the only 2 guys who got in double digits. They didn't have the firepower, and the Raptors won by 30 points. They're now 30 and 50 for the season with 2 games to go. And I'd like to see a 32 and 50 season by the end of this, Darko. Can we get the next 2 games in Texas? I want to beat the Mavs, and then I want to beat the Spurs in San Antonio. Yeah, Nako's also saying, hearing what Michael Malone said about the locker room in an interview, he said he asked if anyone thinks what he's saying is wrong to talk, and nobody does. You know, Jokic saying publicly that this is a tough day, firing Michael Malone. I mean, it's hard. But, you know, like some people have said since this firing, Jokic probably had something to do with him getting fired. No lie. Seriously. I mean, could you blame Nikola Jokic? He works underneath a taskmaster like Michael Malone for years, gets to the highest point, wins a championship. Then as Siakam talked about in the Young Man in the 3, you win the championship and you're so good, you feel like it's just going to keep happening. Well, it doesn't. Then Malone was greedy. He wanted to win more. And in some ways, his frustration and not winning more may be tough. This could be a symptom of coaches like Nick Nurse and Michael Malone, that once they win the championship, they get that taste. They want it again. And in some ways, they become more ornery and tough to deal with, the frustration of getting further away from competing for it. That, you know, the Raptors went through a whole thing with Tampa and the COVID and all that kind of crap happening with our team and after the championship, and it was just not the same. And people like Siakam and Fred VanVleet and OG Anunoby, that's part of the reason why they had to leave, is because they went from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows. And in some ways, that's tough to do on a team. And, well, the similar things happened to the Denver Nuggets since they won their championship. They have been at the top, the pinnacle, and they liked how it felt, but it's not coming back again. And in some ways, this guy yelling at me like a drill sergeant, it's not fun right now with the way it is. So I think that what the Nuggets are going to try and do is they're going to try and hire a more people person kind of coach like Darko, and Nikola will have more fun. And that's part of what it is. It's like, look, if we're not really seriously championship contenders and I don't feel like it, I don't want this guy yelling at me. Can we just get a nicer coach? Do you see how that could have been the action than what happened here? I think and like I said, I think a lot of the conflict was a huge part was between Booth and Malone, and it was really toxic because obviously Calvin Booth was ineffective as a GM and making good moves to help them continue to be successful. And Michael Malone could see it, and he wanted to continue to be successful at all costs. And, well, there's a conflict. There's a conflict right there. There's a conflict. That's right. Nins is giving a 2-finger salute for ESPN, omitting all of our Raptors from their rookie rankings. Like, what are you doing? Y'all need to figure this out. Jeremy Woo, you're an idiot. In fact, I'm going to remember you now, Jeremy Woo, for this. I will. That's right. Reggie's here. Good morning, all. Good morning to you. This is a smooth brown man. Good to see Reggie in the morning here. Mogbo, only NBA rookie this year with a triple-double. Yeah, and Dallas clinched the play-in spot. Let me go look at that real quick. I'm pretty sure we not totally positive. Yeah, they did. Yeah, the Phoenix Suns have been eliminated as of last night. They were still alive, still in the evening, but after all the action's over, the Suns are out, and the Mavericks are in the play-in spot. I was wrong. You guys were right. I'm going to say it. I'll say it again. I'll admit it again. I didn't just admit it yesterday. I'll admit it again that I was wrong. I thought the Suns would be in the play-in. Y'all said it would be the Mavericks, and I was wrong. You guys were right. Dallas Mavericks keep their play-in spot with Anthony Davis, and they are in the bottom. Now, are they playing for anything right now? Maybe. I mean, they're playing for home court in that last play-in spot against Sacramento. So it's like if they win their games out, they may have a chance to have home court in the play-in game. Because right now they're going to Sacramento to play this play-in game against DeMar. And I wonder if DeMar DeRozan will be there. DeMar, you better bring DeMar DeRozan to all play-in games. That may be just the rule. He's like, nah, I don't bring my daughter to play-in games anymore. No. Maybe you should this time. Home court in Sacramento. Bring her there. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Trevor J saying, Lucas said Dallas is the only place he knows and is his home. The Lakers won the game. Yeah, I mean, it's messed up, man. Dirk Nowitzki being there. It's just messed up, man. In some ways, I don't want to talk about this too much. The NBA collusion, the Luka Doncic trade this year, absolutely something funny about that, man. Something funny. Yeah, Kareem's here. Good to see Kareem Thomas. I just ordered a triple-double coffee in honor of Jabo. That's cool. So you got a triple-double coffee because of Jonathan Mogbo? That's interesting. Let's go do the Instagram stories because there's talk about this. First of all, RJ Barrett is celebrating Taj Gibson. Did you guys realize that Taj Gibson of the Charlotte Hornets played in his 1,000th game of his season, of his career last night? And that a lot of people are honoring him for playing in 1,000 games in his NBA career. So there you go. Taj had his 1,000th game in Toronto last night against the Raptors, a 30-point blowout against his team. But RJ, an old friend of his from playing together on the Knicks, is celebrating Taj Gibson for his accomplishment of 1,000 games. You love to see that. There's Jamal Shed showing Brandon wearing the number 1 Houston jersey. Brandon was a real good sport about wearing the Houston Cougars jersey last night. During the game, he wore it the whole entire game, sitting on the bench. Jamal bringing him in the hallway, and Brandon's got a funny smile on his face. But he's a good sport, and it was all in good fun. And Jamal was having a good time. Jamal Shed having a real good time last night. And yeah, Brandon, you had to wear it. You look good, my dog. Honorary Coug is what he's saying. Big dog. My dog, Big X. They call him Big X? Interesting. They're calling him Big X. All right, let's see what else. Thuzy, my friend, the usher, who's at Scotiabank Arena. I'm going to do his Instagram stories for a second. He's got Vlad Guerrero and staying home. And a bunch of clips of Vladdy saying, Toronto is my home forever. I love to see that. He's saying, I'm a Blue Jay for life. Is what Vlad Guerrero Jr. is saying on this. Hey, Blue Jays fans, he has something to say. Hello, guys. I got a message for you. I'm not leaving. I love that. You go, Vlad Guerrero Jr. with your fun and good stuff. Garrett Temple is putting on blast his beautiful wife. Pregnant pictures from the third child that they had recently. Yeah, Garrett, you're a lucky guy, man. I just got to say, you're a very, very lucky man. AJ Lawson was hanging out outside the Raptors arena last night late last night. What was that? That was like maybe around like midnight last night after the game. AJ's out in Jurassic Park taking pictures of himself up on the big screen. So yeah, y'all might, if y'all hang out around the arena after the game, you might run into a Raptor leaving the game. Well, AJ was out in Jurassic Park at midnight after the game last night, hanging out, taking pictures of himself on the Jumbotron, just so y'all know. Yeah, AJ Lawson celebrating the triple-double of Jonathan Mogbo on there. There's Orlando Robinson meeting with the fans out in the arena before the game last night, high-fiving fans. Love to see that. Orlando also, there was a lady who came from Asia, came all the way from, I don't know which country, but she says she traveled 10,000 miles or something like that just to see Orlando Robinson play last night. That's amazing, man. Seriously, this lady came around the world to watch our backup center play, guys. That's amazing, man. She was such a fan. And you can tell Orlando's, like, she flew from Japan, 11,000 miles from Japan to see Orlando Robinson specifically. You know, Orlando's got to feel touched about that, man. Seriously, think about that. How touched do you think Orlando Robinson is that a Japanese woman flew 11,000 miles to come see him play on the Raptors? That's touching, man. Seriously, that's some touching stuff. Jonathan's got all kinds of good stuff in his Instagram stories, highlights of him throwing it down in the Charlotte game last night. You love to see it. Pass to Jamison Battle and a nice dunk, big dunk. Yeah, that was a good one. I like that one. Also, highlight of him getting the steal and running the ball down the court and getting a behind the back pass for Garrett Temple to throw it up there. That is true. Jonathan had some really nice passes once again, where he's threading the needle and all that kind of stuff. Jonathan saying after the game, the Raptors fan base is the best in the NBA. They show love every night and they come correct and they really help us. Yeah, it's true. Jonathan's got a lot of experience with the Raptors fans from hanging around with them on Twitch. That's right. Yeah, very, very happy, Jonathan Mogbo. Fantastic night. He got the chain, and they're throwing water all over him. Nobody's throwing water bottles, though. OG's not on the team anymore, which is pretty good. Yeah, triple-double, Jay Nathan. There you go. Serious players only. Manuel quickly putting on blast Scotty Barnes for he's calling him you a troll, Emmanuel quickly. And Scotty Barnes, that whole part where he made the shot and he was chasing him down. That's hilarious stuff, man. It's really funny. Yeah, he's putting on blast the Rook for the triple-double too, Emmanuel quickly. Scotty's putting Jonathan on there. The comp is what he's saying there. And yeah, there's the Emmanuel quickly shot and Scotty chasing him down the court. Once again, that clip, he's Skipley. And then, why are you chasing him, Scotty? Why are you chasing? Save the energy. Get up down the court. Jared Roden celebrating the triple-double for Jonathan Mogbo. There's Lloyd's post saying, speak it into existence. That's exactly what you did, Lloyd. Triple-double for Jonathan Mogbo. You get a double-double. You said on your Instagram, get a triple-double next. Well, he went and did it. And that's no short task, seriously. Jacoby Walter coming in the game with his little pink bag, looking in his fit. And there's the triple-double, celebrating the accomplishment of his fellow rookie, Jonathan Mogbo. Lindsey Dunn with some reporters, including William Liu, before the game. I'm not sure who that is exactly. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Let's see. And Savannah Hamilton is celebrating the Raptors fans, talking about how Jarko says a privilege to play in Toronto. The fan base is something where it's so special playing in Toronto because it's the only team in the country. So it's a whole different level when you're playing in front of the Canadian crowd. There you go. I love seeing that. Savannah's saying that female athletes will make up to the majority at the 2028 LA Olympics. That is if people don't boycott it. That is if they don't boycott it. I mean, honestly, I would say Canada needs to boycott the U.S. Olympics that are coming up in 2028. I think a lot of countries should boycott it, honestly. Savannah is putting on blast her Cinderella Stories podcast with Ashley Docking. So y'all check that out. And Savannah was walking around in Jurassic Park last night, too. And she walked into a pole. She wasn't paying attention where she was going. And she walked in a pole and she said somebody saw her and laughed at her. This is the kind of stuff you get on the Raptor Freak channel. Savannah Hamilton, you're awesome. Don't ever change. You're cool as hell. There, TikTok dances from Matt and Jack and Kayla. They're doing some crazy, goofy one where they cover their face. And Jack is weird, man. Jack Armstrong, you're a weird guy, man. That's what I'm going to say right there. You're just weird, bro. Jack Armstrong, you're hilarious, though. Yeah, but yeah, they were celebrating the fans last night at Goat Night. It is awesome. Really, really good stuff. There's the original Day Oneers with Leo Routens on his Instagram stories. These are all people that work behind the scenes. People like Doug Smith, who writes the stories. People that are tech people. Paul Jones. Day Oneers that have been employed and doing what they do for the Raptors for 30 years now. For 30 years. That's right. I've been a super fan for 30 years too. That's right. There's Siakam, talking about his teammates, Halliburton stuff. I watched the rest of the young man in the three, and Siakam went in deep on the Tampa year. He talked a lot about playing for the Raptors in Tampa in that recent interview with Andrew Nebhart and him. And he said basically it was horrible in Tampa because he didn't know every day what the kind of crowd he was going to get. He'd show up the game. There were no Toronto Raptors fans there. He said exactly what I said. There were like Boston fans and like people wearing Lakers jerseys. And it was just random people are like, oh, I'm going to go to the game. It wasn't necessarily they're coming to support the Raptors. They're just like, I'm going to go to an NBA game. And in some ways, a lot of the fans were fans of other teams, and they weren't even fans of the two teams that were playing. They're just at a Raptors game. And he said it sucked, man. He said there was no energy. It felt really weird. And if you think back to that year when they played in Tampa, and then they came back and played in front of us the next year, they were really grateful to be back in front of us, guys. I mean, that's part of the reason why people like Siakam, Fred VanVleet, OG Anunoby, Kyle Lowry, understand why we're the best fans in the world, because the last year that Kyle Lowry played for the Raptors, he played in Tampa. And the stark difference of not having us there was felt. So it's really easy for the Raptors that were around that era, the Tampa year, to totally understand just how powerful and amazing the Raptors fan base is and how they cheer on the team. So, yeah, Siakam went in deep on this. And he said, man, it was so tough to play in Tampa. The energy in the building just wasn't there. And he didn't even know if the fans were actually rooting for them half the time. Half the time, it felt like they weren't. So, yeah, it's tough, man. It was tough. Let's see. Is there anything else? Toronto Tempo. I'm really proud of this. The Toronto Tempo are getting political, guys, and they're imploring young people to register to vote and vote in this federal election here in Canada this month. You know, quite often NBA teams will do NBA votes and open up arenas for polling places to encourage more people to vote. But I really like that the Tempo are making this initiative happen right now to get people politically active, to get them interested to vote in this federal election. This is very, very important. We've had very poor turnout in Canadian elections, and that's no good. We got to make sure we vote this month, guys. If you have not registered to vote, do it now so you can do it in time for the election day on the 28th this month. And also, if you're able to early vote, do it. If you are on other countries and you are a Canadian citizen, get your wheels turning so that you can get your vote in before the election is over. So, yeah, I love that the Toronto Tempo are saying make it heard in this federal election. Your voice matters. That's right. There you go. There's your Instagram stories for today. Yeah, all kinds of stuff going on right now. I just a lot of information that I just gave you guys right there. A lot of information right there. Boom goes the dynamite. Yeah, let's see. Kaloy's here. Morning, Lex and fellow freaks. Good morning to you, Carlo, JS, and also good morning to Santino. Hope you guys are doing great this morning. Trevor's saying, do you think hang on, let me jump ahead and make sure I don't miss this. Do you think Castleton is coming back? Well, Grange is saying it's either going to be Castleton or AJ Lawson. They're going to get the upgrade on their contract and be with the Raptors for next year. That's the whole thing. This move, the cut, Cole Schwider today is to open up things to allow a contract for next year for one of those two names. It could be a mystery name, third name that's just a wild card out of the blue that comes in, but I doubt that. I think that Grange is pretty accurate in these kind of predictions. So I think that I could go look and see if Blake Murphy's chiming in on it. He's another good one that is pretty reliable on this. So let's see. Yeah, here it is. Blake Murphy's saying the Raptors are expected to waive Cole Schwider today. As I noted, when he signed his second deal, they have enough flexibility to do this, then sign someone for this year plus an extra year on Saturday. Lawson, Schwider, Castleton, a wild card, all options. So that's interesting. Blake's saying, even though they did this to Cole, he is one of the three options that they could still turn around and give him a bigger contract on Saturday. So I think this is what's going to happen, y'all. I guess Cole won't be available for Dallas because he's waived today, and we will be down an extra roster spot. It will be empty just for the day. And then on Saturday, they're going to upgrade either Castleton, Lawson, or Schwider. So Blake Murphy's saying that Cole Schwider is still in the mix to possibly be that guy. If it's my choice, I mean, who would you pick, guys? Let's do a poll on this. Are we going to do which one of these three Raptors would you choose? Which of the three would you put on contract for next year? For next year. This is our poll of the day. All right, we're going to write in the answers. Let's see. We'll put in them in. We'll do it scientifically. We'll put in then alphabetically so that there's no favoritism. You know what I'm saying? Here we go. We'll put in there. And then the last one is going to be our guy, Schwider. No. All right, y'all. Let's see. What do y'all think? Which of the three would you put on contract for next year? Because that is the poll of the day right there. Which of the three would you put on a contract for next year, guys? I want to see what the Raptor Freaks are voting on this today. That's right. Let's see. Where are we in the chat? Let me see what's going on here. Carlos saying, I like Roden's body type, skills, set, and defensive energy. The guy looks like a mini Scotty. Yeah, he does in some ways. I think that his most close comp is Oshai. I feel like he's a backup to Oshai. In some ways, a lot of the things he does are what Oshai does really well, as far as a really strong upper body with really good stealing and like defense, dogged defense, but also a really good finisher at the rim, a guy who is really good at taking contact in the air and still finishing into it. Like there was a play last night where Jared Rhoden scored. He was coming from the weak side of the basket, and the defender met him in the air and hit him with contact. And Jared somehow, some way, went up higher than the guy and still put the ball in. So I see what you're saying with Scotty, but to me, he's really like an Abaji, like a backup Abaji to me, because they have such similar skill sets that kind of overlap, in some ways. Nins is saying Lawson or Roden for a standard contract. Who were thinking? Well, Lawson, Roden's already under contract. He's already done. He's on a two-year two-way. So he's under a contract on a two-way for next year already. So Roden will be back next year unless they switch out the two-way like they do for whatever reason. But Roden is working hard, and I don't see any reason why they would take the two-way away from Roden because he's progressed and he's done really well this year. And in some ways, he's very valuable right now, honestly. So Roden's already under wraps. The other guys are the ones we got to figure out. It looks like so far 100% of y'all are saying AJ Lawson. It says 100% AJ Lawson between those three choices on that poll right now. Interesting. Everybody's unanimous. They're like, we're going with our guy from Toronto. We're going with our Brampton kid. Let that man continue to dream. Don't pinch him. That's what y'all are saying right now. 100% AJ Lawson. I love the Canadian solidarity here, guys. Hey, I'm not against that, man. Ninja's saying Lawson or Roden. Yeah, I don't know. I think both of them. How about that? Tristan's here. Good to see Tristan Trey, an MVP in the Discord, man. Tristan, you're awesome, man. I love hanging out with Tristan. And I got your message. There's something weird going on with the messages on Discord. There's like 2 different channels. And you sent me a message earlier this week that you were going to be working the Disturbed concert. But the message didn't show up on the feed. And I'm like, where is this weird space on Discord where extra messages are getting put? Like Smooth has been in there putting messages in there, and I find them later. It's not that I'm ignoring y'all. It's just that there's a channel in there, and Trucker Kaz has been talking in there too, that I don't see. And I don't understand why. But yeah, nothing happened with the Disturbed show on Monday. Thank God. Disturbed came to Toronto, and they put on their pyrotechnic show, and our championship banner was safe. But apparently, Tristan ended up working that concert after a while. Tristan does sound for our shows. And, I saw some pictures of that show, and it looked like hell on earth. They really had some crazy-ass fire on the stage for Disturbed on Monday night. And I can understand how they burned up Michael Jordan's championship banners at the United Center, because they had a lot of fire on their stage. And hopefully in conjunction with Blake Murphy, the warning was sent to MLSE, and they got our beautiful 2019 championship banner out of harm's way. But man, I saw some pictures of that show, Tristan, and it looked like hell on earth. Seriously, Disturbed, do you need to have that much fire for your show? Seriously, it was like a wall of fire. It looked crazy. It looked crazy, man. It looked crazy. Congrats to J-Mo for the triple dub. There you go. There you go. And Tristan saying Lawson, baby. Keep Lawson. Yeah, you guys are standing by your Canadian content here. I like it. I like it. Speaking of Canadian content, I want to give you the straight goods on Canadian goods. That's right. And I'm doing a series on chains, Canadian chains that you can eat at right now. This is like, people want to eat. They want to go out. Don't go to McDonald's. Fuck that shit. Fuck that. Hasn't the McDonald's at Queen and Spadina done enough damage to the city of Toronto that you're going to continue to do damage to our economy by spending money at an American franchise that's full of shit like McDonald's that's been poisoning people for decades? No, you want to eat somewhere that's Canadian. You want to eat somewhere where your money is staying in the Canadian economy and not going to a corporation south of the border in the United States. No, they started this shit. We're going to keep going, and we're going to do this, and we're going to become more autonomous. Even if he takes these tariffs back, fuck this. It's good for Canada. It'll be good for our economy. We put billions in jobs and billions of dollars back in our economy if we support Canadian businesses. And my restaurant for today is Eastside Mario's. That's right. Eastside Mario's is a Canadian franchise that was started here in Vaughan, in Ontario. But it wanted to get the feeling of Italy here in Canada. at Eastside Mario's. Y'all know Eastside Mario's is Canadian? Did you know that? They expanded into the States too. You know, when I was growing up in Tallahassee, they had an Eastside Mario's in Tallahassee. And, you know, I didn't realize it was the Canadian chain at the time. Now, all the American Eastside Mario's have closed down since. The last one closed down in 2020. But Eastside Mario's is a chain that's still open up here in Canada and is Canadian owned. And they have very important things that they do. Like they support the Boys and Girls Club of Canada. And they are very proud to say that they are Canadian owned and they are being a part of the Canadian restaurants that are out there. So y'all eat at Eastside Mario's with clear conscience that you are not supporting anything but Canadian economy by eating at Eastside Mario's. So there's your Canadian goods for today. Eastside Mario's. You guys know where Eastside Mario's is? There used to be a really good one down on Front Street, not far from the Scotiabank Arena that I went to. I remember, this is a funny story, actually. We had our staff party for the food and beverage department for Scotiabank Arena. You know, I used to be in a union of 1,000 of people. We were all the people that worked in the food and beverage and the stands selling the popcorn and the pizza, and all those people in there were my coworkers. And well, we had an end of the season party at Eastside Mario's on Front Street next to the Loose Moose or whatever. You know where I'm talking about, right there near University and Front. And well, we were cantankerous. Some of the people that I worked with were heavy drinkers. In fact, I think I was still a heavy drinker at that time. Yes, I was, because I was not sober. So I was one of them. Well, we got banned from being at Eastside Mario's as a group forever after that. MLSC's food and beverage staff was not allowed to come back to Eastside Mario's after that one party that one night. Let's just say that. So yeah, Eastside Mario's, truly Canadian, support Canada. Eat at Eastside Mario's and feel like you're doing something good for your country. That's right. That's right. Carlo JS saying, I'll go with Lawson, but I like Roden too. I say we might have both of them. I mean, the argument for maybe going for Castleton in this vote is that Lawson is duplicitous a little bit with Roden. And if we want a little bit more bigs, well, Castleton's that guy. And he did have a really good effect with rebounding on our team. And, you know, the double center lineup that we were using when he was on our team was very interesting weapon too. So, I mean, for diversity as far as like player type, it may be, you know, we don't need both Roden and Lawson. And Castleton, it gives us a whole other different part to it. I don't know. There's a couple of different ways we could look at this here. Tristan saying Lawson shoots threes better and more scoring versatility, and his energy is good as well. You know, I would say this. The main difference between Lawson and Roden are Lawson's faster, but Roden is more steady and efficient. He's more dependable. Lawson can be feast or famine. You could have nights where Lawson doesn't do jack shit for you, and he's horrible, and he can't hit the broadside of a barn. Now, Roden, night in, night out, is going to give you some production. It's just that he may not give it to you as the flashy, big way. So the more dependable guy is Jared Roden. But in some ways, the faster, more flashy possibilities guy is AJ Lawson. Does that make sense what I'm saying there? Because I've seen AJ have really bad games this year, but have amazing games where he scores plus 40. You know, he had really good games for the Long Island Nets before he came to 905. He was just bombing. In some ways, 905, he changed a bit, became more of a team player and not so much a focal point. And that was part of it. But that's the thing. Jared Roden is consistent. He's at least for sure going to give you everything on the defensive end. And more often than not, he's going to be hitting things offensively too. Now, Lawson, he could give you the stuff on the defensive end, be a hurry-up guy, but he also gambles on defense like Gary Trent Jr. used to try and get steals. He gets beat that way. But with our defense, that's not as big of a deal. And then the other thing is, like I said, he's a streak shooter. If Lawson's tied in, he's going to be really good. He could get really hot. But there are nights where Lawson is absolutely cold also. So I would say Roden's a safer, more consistent choice. But Lawson has a weird upside that could be really realized in the years to come. That's the thing I would say about that. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Carlos saying, I predict we're going to love the deep lineup next year. I think I already love it right now. I mean, I think that I'm just excited to see how the Raptors can compete having a deep bench. Like, this is a really important thing in today's NBA with so many injuries and people, missing games here and there, that you need a next man up, like deep pantry of good players that can come and plug in if guys are gone. Like Neil and I were talking about last night, that he's worried about the Raptors with Scotty. Like if Scotty is out because he's our glue guy and he's so important, who is that guy after that? And what I was trying to say, Jonathan in some ways is trying to do that on some sort of level, the all around play of Scotty. But you can't replace a guy like Scotty exactly. That's why he's such a premier talent and one of the best players in the league. So it's a tough thing to do. But there are guys on this team that can kind of somewhat do it, not at the same level as him. And I say Mogbo is a guy that's very similar to Scott as best friends and also philosophies on the court. There's a lot of similarities there. A lot of similarities there. Tristan saying 32-point double-double and 28 points next game is crazy. Yeah, you're talking about Jared Rhoden. Yeah, man, Jared Rhoden has really played strong. And the thing is, he started this build in the 905 because, he had a weird situation where he came up and played for the Raptors for a couple games, and then he went back down to 905. And AJ stayed on the Raptors. He didn't go back to the 905 after a certain point in the season, but Rhoden did. And Rhoden was down there, and it was sad because the first game he came back down to the 905, he twisted his ankle. And it was sad. I felt bad for him. It's like this guy just came from the big club. He was playing in the NBA, and now he's back on 905, and he twists his ankle, and now he's hurt. Man, that's got to suck. That's a roller coaster of emotions. Did he hold his head? No. Did he feel sorry for himself? No. He went out there, and he got healthy, and he came back, and he started kicking some more ass on 905. And he played a bunch of games on 905 to finish their season. And really kicked some butt and had some really strong scoring games for 905 near the end of the season. If not, they didn't win. But he was tired. He was trying to do everything by himself because they really didn't have anybody else. And, he missed a couple of game-winning shots at the end of the 905 season. But he was just trying to hold the shop while, they were closing down the season. And, well, he got done with 905, and that energy has come up from the 905 to the main squad, and we're seeing it in what Tristan's talking about here. Double-double with the 32 points and then a 28-point game last night. Yeah, Jared, I hope, you're already in the fold for next year. We'll have to see what happens with your buddy AJ. We'll have to see. Wayne's here. Good to see Sergeant Wayne Strainer. Morning, Raptor Freaks. What the hell? Am I the first to click the like button? All of you here, click the darn like button. Just because Lex doesn't beg for subscriptions and likes is no excuse. Shameful. Man, Wayne, I appreciate your take. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, y'all, please like my channel. Please like my stream and subscribe to the channel. Please, guys. Thank you, Wayne, for being imploring people to do this. I appreciate that. MJ's here. Good to see MJ. So good to see MJ's face last night. And so good to talk with her during the game. Isn't that a fun little community way to be connected, Fiercey? And, we were talking about last night, Neil and I, the possibilities of integrating Discord with this channel in the morning is that we may have the heads of boxes, not just me anymore. I'll be the host, but I might have co-hosts and co-commentators on the show as this summer evolves, guys. The possibilities are starting to come where it could very well be this isn't just a one head talking channel soon. And I'm excited about it. I'm really into the idea, but I want to do it slowly and right and methodically in a way that makes sense. We'll finish this season the way we've done it, but this summer, this channel is going to change a bit with its content. Once again, last summer I made a commitment to get my time under 2 hours, which I've done a pretty good job for most of the season. No more 4-hour Lexathons, no more 3-hour Lexathons. For the most part, there are still some 3-hour Lexathons, but in some ways I'm still interested in cutting down my time this summer. And also I've decided what I think I'm going to do this year in the summer is I'm going to do full streams on certain days, and I'm not going to do streams on certain days. I'm going to do content on certain days. And I'm thinking right now it's going to be Tuesday trivia is going to stay the way it is. We're going to do Tuesday trivia exactly how it is. We're going to do Thursday continuing the way it is also. But the Thursday think tank may be morphing from a call-in show to the Discord talking head show. And that may be the place where we're going to experiment with the idea of integrating Discord into my stream. Just like Neil was telling me, a New York channel does this, a New York fan channel for the Knicks. So I'm going to figure this out, and we're going to see some changes with this. And it's going to be very fun. And we'll be able to see people like MJ on the show and hear her voice. And so I'm excited about the possibilities of what we're going to be doing this summer, guys. There's all kinds of interesting changes we could do because of the new Discord we're doing. Fiercely saying, good morning, fam, and happy Thursday. Great win yesterday. Mogbo and Roden were fire. Chain well deserved. Yeah, and Jonathan was very happy to get the chain, and then the bottled water shower, dumping all the water on him behind the scenes. Always good to see you, Fiercely. Cool Cat's here also. Cool Cat, you got to come in there too on the Discord. It's getting that Zazu Spaces feeling. You can ask Neil because we're in there talking, and you know what? We're keeping things on good subject, and we're talking heavy Raptor stuff, but we're doing it in the right way, the RFF way. And you know what? I want to hear your voice in there too, Cool Cat. I'd love to see you come in the Discord, just like you would on the spaces of Twitter, and join us there because we're having that kind of interaction now at this point during the game, talking in different voices, talking about the game while the game is on. So, yeah. Good morning, Raptor Freak crew. I'm in and out, terribly crazy busy at work. Tons of meetings to that end. Happy for rookie Mogbo. Yeah, I understand. Everybody's got different periods in their life where things get hectic or busy. You know, some people are accountants and tax season. They don't get to talk to nobody for 2 months. So it's kind of like that. I get it. Everybody's got different jobs and different times where in the year where they're busy. And Cool Cat's in one of those times right now. So you know what? We love you. And when you're here, we value your presence. We very much do. That's right. MJ saying, I ain't going to lie. Seeing Luca cry was very touching. Yeah, it just don't seem right, man. It just don't seem right. It just don't seem right. It's really screwy, man. Really, really is. Kaloy saying, I'm so hyped for the Vladdy extension. Yeah, this is great news for Blue Jays Nation. And it's in some ways, this is a good thing for the Raptors too, because it's showing that Rodgers is willing to invest and keep good players here. And this is a big investment. And I appreciate this because hopefully this is the kind of action that will show with our basketball team also. Invest to win. That's it right there. Yeah. Carlos saying it's so funny. Dallas went through that for a win. Now line up and get trashed by almost centerless Luka team. Ha ha. Yeah. Yeah, it's too bad. Well, it was a good game. Not really a trashing. Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch it or anything like that. I'm sad the Lakers won. I wish the Mavericks could have beat them in that game because in some ways that's the kind of stuff I want redemption for people that have been wronged. And I feel like the Mavericks nation's been wronged. And in some ways, in the basketball gods world, I feel like the Mavericks should have beat them just to make them feel better. I feel like it. Yeah. Cool Cat saying athletes are human beings, emotional. Front office needs to be more classy. Luka was so emotional. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. It's a business. It's a cold heart business. And in some ways, you know, the way players are treated in the NBA will show you just exactly how corporations feel about people. If these people that make $1 million and stuff like this get treated in cold, callous ways, why don't you think that you know, corporations running our healthcare system in Canada would be cold and callous, just like how it is in the United States? Yeah, I'm anti-corporate. And well, corporations are part of the reason why big NBA players are treated so callously. I would say that. That is it right there. Trevor's saying we have a great bunch next season. The Raptors bunch going to be better and lots of other better than a lot of other teams. You're saying bench when you're saying bunch. We have a great bunch next season. Yeah, I will not disagree. Monique's here. Superfan Mo, the greatest, went to the game last night. Of course, she's a GOAT, and it was a GOAT night for her and the fans. And I love seeing the appreciation for the Raptors fans. We really are a badass fan base. And we are very cool. In some ways, it's like Raptors players that come and play for us. They remember the fans here in Toronto because we're diehards and we really are there for them. And Monique was there for them last night. I love it. Good morning, Raptor Free crew. Amazing, awesome night last night. JMO and everyone else, team effort was very happy into the next season. Yeah, last home game, Texas two-step, and we're done. And then we're going to be setting our sights on the next season. There is more news out about Brandon Ingram in the last day or so that he had injections into his ankle to help with the treatment, and that shut him down for the rest of the season. And well, but they are saying that he's ready to assume summer activities immediately after the season's over. That's fishy. Maybe he just needed to sit for this year for some reasons. But, well, I'm glad to hear he'll be healthy to start working towards next season in almost immediately in the summer. So, yeah, Brandon, let's go. Come on, man. Let's go. Let's get you healthy and get you out on the court. I can't wait. I can't wait to see Brandon Ingram, not in a Houston Cougars jersey, but in a Raptors jersey and on the court at Scotiabank Arena. So good. Yeah, Smooth saying, honestly, the Vlad extension breathes new life into the Blue Jays. I cried watching his video message to fans. There's a real one right there. Reggie's a real one. He's a strong Blue Jays freak, just like he's a Raptors freak. And, he's sentimental and feeling it because Vladdy chose to stay here. Toronto is home. He's declared this. And, well, 14 years is a long time. That's a long time. And unless they trade him, he's going to be here. That's right. Kaloy saying, haha, me too. So you got a little sentimental about it too, hey? Yeah, I can see that. Reggie saying, I didn't realize how important it was for him to remain here. He spoke to his dad, though. Yeah, what Vlad Guerrero Sr. said, he said, get as much money out of Rodgers as you can. That's what he said to him. He said, get as much money as you can from them. That's right. Vladdy Sr. told him to get every last dollar. Yeah, he could get out of the deal. Exactly. Daniel Barry, good morning to you, sir, in your sports highlights. Trevor's saying, Suns missing the playoffs for the first time since 2019. Well, that's not really a long drought. I mean, there's a lot of other teams that have not made the playoffs longer than that. So it's like it's not a totally interesting factoid, but yeah, G saying happy for Mogbo. Next season's gonna be fire. Yeah, I'm excited for the Raptors' future. We're on the right path. Smooth saying Jay's trying to get Bo Bichette on an extension as well. Well, they want to keep their second generation legacy players. He's another one on the team, that's for sure. Carlos saying Darko in the front office figuring out that you can't control injuries and developing these young guys for the bench while we can afford them. Yeah. I mean, in some ways we do control injuries, especially this time of year. But I mean, having the depth and the really good young talent that's cheap on rookie contracts is the key here. And that's the thing. I was saying this the other day. The Raptors are smart because we've expedited their rookie development in this first rookie year. Shed's ahead, Walter's ahead, Mobo's ahead, Battle's ahead. Shamshay, he's a little behind, but that's only because he got hurt halfway through the season. But the other guys are all ahead, and that means on rookie contracts, which are like 4-year contracts, if they blow up even more in the next 3 years, we still got them on a good price. So I like that. In some ways, you don't want to waste time developing players because if you develop them, wait, and you don't develop them early, like right away, you're not going to get the value out of them for the whole 4-year rookie contract. And that's great that these guys hit the ground running and they're substantially contributing to the Raptors in winning ways already as rookies because, we're going to pay them on rookie contract for a couple years now, and they're going to just expand and get better. They'll be real deals over that time. And teams that don't do well developing young players, well, they waste the time and the value of the players on their rookie contracts because they may not be getting development gains until like the third year of their career. And then all of a sudden they only have one more year on their rookie contract. And then they blow up in their last year of their rookie contract. And the team's just not getting the value of play from those young players like that. That makes sense what I'm saying? It totally makes sense to me. And this is one of the genius things about what the Raptors are doing with overdeveloping our rookies this year. Really, really smart. Really, really smart. Smooth saying Bo is mom's favorite. Bo's your mom's favorite player? Bo Bichette. Yeah, Dante Bichette's son. There you go. Cool Cat saying, I have a Discord account, but it's not letting me in properly. I have to spend some time investigating. This has happened to Monique also. There's something weird going on with Discord. It wouldn't let her in properly either. I'm wondering what's going on with that. Like there's some intuitive interface problems that are not happening the right way for different people. So Cool Cat's having the same problem that Monique is having right now about accessing the Discord. I want this to get figured out for you guys because y'all are both very valued RFF members, and we want to hear your voices and opinions on Raptor Freak stuff. So hopefully we can figure it out. I know you're very busy, and you probably just haven't been able to dedicate the time to putting some time into investigating it. Yeah. Let's see what happens. Cool Cat saying that's why I always take the player perspective first, and always you can move on from players, but gosh, treating it like an asset transaction and nothing else is cold. Cool Cat, the book I'm reading right now really illuminates the history of this. Black Ball. It's written by a Raptors dance pack, former Raptors dance pack dancer that was on the team in the beginning. She was on the original dance pack when 1994 or 95. And she wrote a book about the struggles with the players and the owners and exactly the problems with how the owners subjugated the players and took advantage of them and did not, pay them correctly and use them in all kinds of really bad ways in the 50s and 60s. And it goes over the labor struggles with people like Oscar Robertson fighting for fair pay and percentage of the gate receipts and the money that's generated by them on the court and the labor struggles. And reading this book has really made me realize, yes, I'm exactly with you. And everything that has to do with problems between the players and the owners, I'm with the players every time, because in some ways it's symbolic of corporations versus unions too. It's the same thing. Starbucks versus their employees and the union. It's the same thing. Amazon versus their employees and the union. The NBA owners versus the players and their union. It's the same thing. It's a labor struggle, and in some ways, the NBA labor struggle is very public, and people can see it. It's right in front of you. The NBA struggle for labor struggles were very intertwined with civil rights movement during that time in the 60s and the 50s. And the leaders of the civil rights movement were there with the NBA players and getting the right pay for them. So this is a very big issue. And one of the things that happened back then, Cool Cat, that still happens to this day is scapegoating and villainizing players for being greedy. That people see the prices that the players get paid, and they're like, these guys aren't worth this. They play a kid's game, and they get all crazy. Part of that is gaslighting, manipulation by the media to scapegoat the players, and as a corporation, the media is to help the corporation that the owners are. And this action has been happening forever. So you know what? I'm with you. I'm totally with you on this. That I'm going to be siding with the players no matter what, even if the player seems like they're being outrageous. I know recently Jimmy Butler had a real crazy incident with Miami Heat. I know that also Dame Lillard really forced his way out of Portland. In some ways, I've been critical of those guys for being like that because they get paid this and that. But in some ways, the struggle of Jimmy Butler to leave Miami this season is not that much different than the struggle of Oscar Robertson to not have to be territorial rights to Cincinnati Royals just because they ordained that they had the rights to him, and he had no other choices. There was no free agency. There was no ability to call other teams and say, well, how much will you pay compared to Cincinnati? No, because the teams had the rights straight up, and they had all property rights to these players being wherever they are going to be in the league. That's why the ABA was so important, because the ABA was a new show, and the NBA players could tell screw you to their NBA teams and go get a different contract. And the ABA, there was competition. It wasn't a monopoly. So I'm learning more and more about the labor struggles of the NBA and its history from this book. And it's really illuminated that always the owners are wrong. They are wrong. The owners are always wrong. And if the players are fighting for something, it's because it's long overdue and they should have gotten it a long time ago. And that I'm with her on this completely. Yeah. Blackhawk saying, I had to change my password to about 15 characters, very strong, to get Discord to work. It's weird, man. I mean, once again, like people have said, if you get your login information, just save it. And when you go to Discord, you don't have to log in and out. It's probably the best. That's the problem. I think that's the problem. Don't log all the way out of Discord. If you close the page, you're off and you can't be heard or seen or a camera or anything like that. But don't log all the way out. Log in. And once you're in, stay logged in. And when you close the tab, you won't be on there. You won't be seen in there. But when you come back and you open Discord up, you don't have to fill in your password or any of that stuff. You can just be on it already. And that's what I did. So, I mean, I get it. Some people want to log in and log out. I don't know what but that's been the problem. I think that people have logged out and then all of a sudden they're having trouble logging back in. So it's a weird thing. It's a really, really weird thing. Let's see. Monique is saying, Lex, did you see Michael Grange's article, the piece on Chris Boucher? I didn't read it, but I know the gist of it. He's basically talking about how Chris Boucher is a unique, very special Raptor, and that he deserves a send off from the team, and that it's not going to happen. Hopefully, he'll be on the team again next year, and he'll still be around. But it could very well be that he won't get the send off, and that it may be a kind of thing where he signs with another team this summer, and he's coming back in another jersey, and we'll do a tribute for him then. But Michael Grange is wanting him to get more flowers from the Raptors now. And I agree with it. I mean, it was sad seeing him kind of standing on the sideline. He's happy and like joking around with Grady, but you could tell he wants to play. But and also when all the players came out on the court at the end of the game and were waving to everybody, he's out there waving. And in some ways, I feel sad for him because I don't know if he's waving to the crowd bye-bye, you know? I don't know. Either way, I didn't read the Grange article, but I get the gist of what he's saying. Chris Boucher is an important legend in the Raptors franchise history. And, we need to honor him. We will. And in some ways, I don't know what the hell's going on with 50 games, but 50 games is the reason. 50 games is the reason. It's obvious. And I wish I knew the inside intel on why 50 games is so crucial to Chris in the contract in the Raptors. I have no idea. They did this to him last year, Mo. I looked at his stats from last year. He played 50 games last year. And then when he got to 50 games, they didn't play him again for the rest of the season. And everybody did the same thing last year. Why isn't Chris playing? Why isn't Chris playing? Well, same damn thing this year. 50 games. Now, it's no coincidence that in the last 2 years, Chris has only been capped. He's been capped at 50 games, and that's it. He can't play more than 50 games. Why is that? What is it? Is there some sort of incentives or bonuses that kick in that would hurt the Raptors in their salary cap if we play Chris more than 50 games? That's what I'm suspicious of. I think that's what it is. That if we did play him one more game, it would kick into a whole other bonus that they'd have to pay him, and it may be detrimental to our salary cap and balancing things. Does that make sense? I think that's what it is. I really do think that's what it is. It's no coincidence that this is the same contract these last 2 years, and he's been capped at 50 games for the season. That's really fishy. 50 exactly? There's something going on with the number 50 with Chris. I'm telling you. Cool Cat's saying, Blackhawk, I will try changing my password. I know it's currently not 15 characters. Thanks for the heads up. And like I said, don't log back out. Seriously, if you can be in there, just stay in there and don't get back out. I think that's where the mistake was for both you and Monique, that y'all logged all the way out. If you get back in there, just stay in there. Don't log all the way back out. It's a learning curve. It's a different site. And in some ways, it's got its own bells and whistles and things to figure out. We're figuring them out on the stream more and more on Discord. It's fun. We've been trying all kinds of different stuff. One of the things we wanted to do last night was see how many people we could get into this mic and camera room, like fitting college students in a telephone booth or clowns in a clown car. We want to see how many people we get in that big room all at once, all talking all at once. So at one point, we're going to have to get most of us in there and really test the limits of Discord and how many people can be on the mics and the cameras at the once. That'd be cool. Nin's is saying, Lex, I have some experience with managing Discord servers. So if there's any specific problems that anyone has, I'm willing to help. Yes, a lot of us need help, Nins. I see you in there regularly. Nins is on Discord most of the time. We may need to use you. Seriously, if you're an expert on this stuff, we need your help with Monique. And any kind of way you can troubleshoot and help Raptor Freak family get on Discord properly and be able to navigate things. If you're a Discord expert, I'm going to be utilizing you, Nins. I appreciate that. My guy in Philly. That's right. That's right. My guy in Philly looking out. That's right. Nins is saying, just have whoever is having the problem to take a picture of the problem they're encountering, and you can send it to me. Perfect. Perfect. All right. We're going to try and figure this out at some point. When Monique has some free time and she wants to do this, we'll coordinate through Facebook to you on Discord, and I will try and help be the bridge between you and her as far as communicating and trying to get this figured out. She tried to do everything. Her brother tried to help her, and she's just throwing up her hands saying, I don't know what the hell's going on. So we know how essential Superfan Mo is to our Raptor Freak family. So we need to get her in there proper. We need to get her in there proper because I don't want her to miss out on the fun that we're starting to develop and start in there. Like watching the game with Rob and Neil and Fiercey and Jillian. It was fun having different people pop in and hearing their voices and talking during the game and cheering during the game and watching the cool things that happen in the game and reacting in real time. This is something that y'all wanted to do with me, and now we can. So I'm like, I want everybody to be able to participate. And these next 2 games are road games. Monique's going to be home, so she could be in the chat and she could be there with us, hopefully. That's what we're going to try and do. Nins, you could be an MVP if you can help us with this. Neil saying, I had to keep playing with it until I got the right strength. My original password was 9 characters consisting of capital letters, numbers, special characters, and it was not enough. Yeah, I had a little bit of problem getting into Discord myself, and I had to switch my password too. But I was able to navigate it and get in there. It can be tricky with that kind of stuff, especially with this weird runaround that Google does with passwords sometimes, where you get into a loop and you're like, well, wait, how do I get the email, my password? Like, because wait. Yeah, Google has some problems and flaws with password resets sometimes. Have you noticed that? Yeah. Let's see. Cool Cat saying, yes, Lex, media expose what players receive, but not sharing what the team owners make. Sharing 51-49 between owners and players is fair. How many corporate owners share fairly with workers? Yeah, it's a huge problem. It's a freaking uh, mentality, and it's just wrong. It's really, really wrong, and it's part of why our society is going down the tubes. So in some ways, like eat the rich, and we're coming for our fair share is very true. And hopefully people will more and more come for what their fair share is of everything, and stop letting these profit hoarders do what they're doing off the backs of the labor people. Man, I know, man, it's scary right now, especially with AI and automation and all kinds of different stuff. I mean, it is what it is. And corporate mentality to exploit their workers is awful. It's at the worst it's ever been. There's no social contract with people in their lives to be able to have a life that they can sustain and be happy and work. No, they don't care about that. There's no jobs that are paying correctly at this point in a lot of senses as far as what you need to live a life. It's not like jobs pay correctly. They just don't right now. It's because of greed and fucking bullshit people at the top hoarding the profits. Yeah, Cool Cat saying, I think Boucher not playing could be a part of a trade this summer. Hence, the front office is quiet about it all. Due to the nature of my work, I have to log out and clear my cache every day. Can't stay forever logged in. That's not a secure process. I wonder if you could do it. You can't do that at home either. Well, okay. Well, I guess you could just get savvy at it if you understand your password really well, and you understand the whole process of what to expect. You could probably learn to troubleshoot it and figure out what's going on at some point. But yeah, I saw you in there that one time. You've logged in, but yeah, I've been wondering if Cool Cat's going to come back. Is what I was wondering. Yeah, the stuff with Boucher is weird. It's so weird, and it's so for sure 50 games. It centers around 50 games. I know it does. I know it does. I can Winders this. It has to do with 50 games. What Chris Boucher is happening. That's right. Most saying even Scotiabank Arena staff are worried. I know. I see mostly Chris every day. What? Every day. I see most every day in reference to Chris. I mean, what can we do? Once again, it's a business. In some ways, the writing's on the wall as far as like how he fits with Darko's system. And I mean, it is what it is. Once again, we got to trust Masai Ujiri as his vision and what he's trying to put together for the puzzle for the Raptors to be very good and successful. Chris has been on our team for, I don't know, like 9 years or something like that. He started with us in the championship year was his first year. So he's been on our team for like 6 years, 6 or 7 years. And, the other thing I looked at with Chris is where is he on the all-time Raptors franchise lists? Well, if he had played more than the 50 games he played this season, he very well would have been 7th in the Raptors for all-time for rebounds. Yeah, he was just behind Vince Carter and Andrea Bargnani. If he had played a few more games this season, he would have leapfrogged them from 10th all time in rebounds. He's the 10th most rebounds in Raptors history to 7th or 8th. He would have passed Vince and Andrea. He would have easily passed them. And then the other thing is games played. That's another one where he could have passed some people if he had played some more games on that list. So there are a couple of franchise lists that Chris would have moved up on if he had played normal like he should have in some ways, or what we think he should have. So Reggie's saying market went up briefly after the tariff pause, crashing again. Yeah, some people are accusing Trump of using proprietary knowledge of his crazy ass tariff on, tariff off actions to enrich themselves. that there's some people that are around him that know what he's doing, and they're like, this is when you buy, this is when you sell, and they're manipulating it to make themselves very, very rich because of the way he's going red light, green light with the tariffs right now. Yeah, it's a little bit manipulated and very convoluted and very fucking gangster racketeerish shit. And well, I mean, he's doing all this crap. In some ways, he's talking all this trash. In some ways, he's this kind of guy that's going to say a big game, like scare you and threaten like further than he'll actually do. But in some ways, that's for him to kind of gain that territory and say, well, I could do this later, but I'm not going to right now. There's a little bit of that kind of shit with him. In some ways, he pushes the envelope so that he can go further on the inside. Some ways, if he's not daring to say crazy, outlandish shit and do this stuff, he won't be able to do it because in some ways people will be like, no. But if he is a barrage of all kinds of crazy, outlandish shit, and then some of it he backtracks and walks back on, he's a liar. Everything he says is a lie. He says he's going to do this, and then he doesn't do it. And then he says he won't do this, and then he does do it. You can't fucking believe a damn word that Donald Trump says because he's a fucking liar and he's a piece of shit criminal. He fucking should be in a prison cell, honestly. Seriously, man. Yeah, let's see. Wayne's saying, repost the Discord site you did earlier this week. Merci. Yeah, we'd love to have you in there, Wayne. You are one of the people that we've been wanting to get into our site, and I'm going to go ahead and send you I'm going to put the Discord link in so you can join our group. Let me see. Here it is. Here is the link, and you can get yourself set up there, Wayne, in that way. Yeah. Reggie's saying, my problem with Discord was I had disabled my mic. I had to go into Google settings to enable permissions. Yeah, some of it is, I don't know if there's other sites that hate Discord and they're trying to hurt it. I don't know what it is exactly. But in some ways, Discord is very difficult to get in initially. But once you figure it out and you master it, there should be less problems. And I'm glad to know that Nins can be tech support. So we're going to have to talk to him. Kaloy's saying, Lex, Discord is going to be so exciting for the winning season next year. This is going to change our channel a lot, guys. And I'm excited about it. I've been a one-man show for too long. And I think it is going to be time for me to have co-hosts on the channel for next season. And obviously, the long-standing, loyal RFF that have been here with me the longest, they're the ones that are going to get to be on the show. The people that have called me on the Thursday Think Tank already. The people that are here almost every day, obviously, you are the guys and gals that I'm going to be picking first to be appearing on this show with me. And I'm excited about the possibilities. But Discord is essential for you to be able to do this, to be on the show, because that's where it's going. We're just like, I'm going to have a couple boxes on here. I won't be the only one on the screen like this. You guys will be on the screen with me by next season. We're going to workshop this summer, and we're going to get it ironed out. We're going to figure it out. Most saying W Stream, W Vibes. Go Raptors for life. Keep at it always, Lex. Raptor Free Crew strong forever. Just helping me limit the comments. Now, I want to do the box score real quick because I just want to look at a little bit more about the game last night, make it a little bit more of a reaction. The Raptors shot 47%, and they got 22 more shots on goal than the Hornets last night. That's just outworking them right there. Fantastic stuff. That's part of the 30-point victory. We made 19 threes. In fact, MJ came into the Discord and said, it's raining threes. Hallelujah. It's raining threes. Hallelujah. Yeah, and early on, it was RJ and AJ that were really bombing threes. I love that Canadian contingency content of RJ and AJ bombing the threes, doing a good job with that. But 19 threes for the Raptors overall is fantastic. We didn't get the line a whole lot, 9 of 12 at the line, 55 rebounds, which is absolutely fantastic. Out rebounding the Hornets by plus 14. 37 assists. Darko said that 30 number is our goal. It used to be when Nick was our coach, I was just wanting 25 assists. Well, the new height of excellence for the Raptors is 30 assists. So we need 30 assists every single game, 37 for the game last night. Love to see that. As I said, the turnovers were limited. They're officially saying 9 on here, but I only counted 8 on the other part of the score, the box score. 52 points in the paint. Fantastic. A 34-point lead at one point for the Raptors against the Hornets. Fantastic. All right, let's do the classic card, y'all. All right, y'all have been really, I know the card was easy yesterday, but some of the stuff that's been happening with trivia and classic card has been really not going well. Trivia was very difficult this week. So I want to see if you guys. I want to get a good card. I don't want weird cards right now. Oh, okay. We'll do this one. This is a weird card. This is a weird card, but we'll do this one real quick. We'll see if you guys can tell who it is. Where's his name? I want to cover his name. This is a cool card. This card has a texture to it like it's a basketball. It's very, very cool. All right, here's the classic card of the day. It's see that basketball texture? It feels like a basketball on this card. Obviously, it's a Knick. Do you know who this New York Knick is? Put that full answer in. My finger's over the name, so you can't see it. But yeah, put in that full answer. You saying Latrell Sprewell? What's up, Trucker Kaz? Our current leader for the championship of our fantasy basketball league. No, it is not Latrell Sprewell. This is not Latrell. I want to make sure this is who I thought it is. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, this is a rookie card, guys. Yeah, it's who I think it is. Of course it is. Yeah, there you go. Slug Deezy knows. That's Walter McCarty. That's right. That's one of the Kentucky Wildcats. Ron Mercer, Antoine Walker, Walter McCarty. And yeah, we're yelling, wah, ah. But yeah, this feels like the basketball. Like it feels cool. Yeah, there he is. Walter McCarty. This is a rookie exclusive card. Is what it's saying here. Rookie exclusive. Rookie exclusives. Yeah, Walter McCarty wasn't bad. I'm going to give you 100 points for this one. For you, Slug Deezy. Slug Deezy's been like very good with the classic cards like Reggie. So yeah, Walter McCarty is the classic card of the day. And it's a kind of a cool card, the way he's yelling like that. So Slug Deezy. And I'll make it a 100-point game. 100-point card right there. Boom goes the Dynamite classic card. All right, let me see. What else do I have? I got tabs to look at still. No. Let's see. Any more on Blue Skies? It's interesting. Not really. Raptors Reddit. What are y'all talking about today? Congrats for Jobo Mogbo for the first triple dobo. Oh, Raptors Reddit. Y'all are funny, man. Congrats for Jobo Mogbo for the first triple dobo. Dobo. Oh, man, you guys. Spurs just won. The Raptors are locked into the 7th best odds. There you go. Raptors fans, Tank Nation, you're off duty now. Y'all can shut up. Tank Nation, you're clocked out, bro. You're done. We can win or lose. It doesn't matter because we are locked into the same spot no matter what as of last night when the Spurs beat the Warriors on a Harrison Barnes buzzer beater. That officially made it so the Spurs cannot catch us. And we can win the last 2 games of the season wholeheartedly without worrying about anything to do with the draft. So Tank Nation, you're off duty. Shut the fuck up. You're done for the year. I say that on behalf of Monique, the superfan Lawrence. Y'all are done. Hasta la vista. Bye-bye. No reason for you to say tank because we are where we're going to be no matter what at this point. That's right. There you go. There you go. We have officially the 31.9% chance at a top 4 pick. So we have a 32% chance we're going to land in the top 4, y'all. That's what's up right there. Boom goes the Dynamite. Jonathan Mogbo, the second rookie in the history of the Raptors to get a triple-double. The first rookie was Damon Stoudemire in the first year of the Raptors, the rookie of the year, Damon Stoudemire. That's right. Raptors Reddit has a Harrison Barnes appreciation thread going right now because of Harrison Barnes hitting that game winner and beating the Warriors last night. So we're appreciating Harrison Barnes in Raptors Nation right now. Hilarious. There you go. And now this guy, Munir, said the Raptors can now play all their best players for the 2 remaining games. And he's got the Vince Carter at the jersey retirement ceremony. Come on, yelling and screaming. So Raptors Red's pretty happy about this. That it's like that. So yeah, and there's Brandon with the Houston jersey. Brandon keeps his promise and wears the Houston Cougars jersey to the game after Duke was knocked out in the Final Four. There you go. Good stuff there, man. Good stuff there. All right, let's see. Any birthdays? I don't see any birthdays. Do you guys have let's see. There's the fantasy league. We see Kaz is losing now, actually. No, never mind. Peter has taken the lead as of last night, 6-1 in the championship for our fantasy league. Wow. Okay, so Kaz has got some work to do. It looks like Peter Saborin wants to repeat as a champion. No birthdays today, unfortunately, guys. No birthdays for me to go over right now. Yeah, let's see. Most saying these players have my heart. There you go. Her heart is taken by the Raptors. That's right. All right, let's do the rundown really quick and get out of here, y'all. First of all, the Raptors beat the Hornets by 30 in their last home game of the season. It was a fantastic gift to the GOATs, the fans, and all that they do to support the team. Raptors players now and past all understand the power of Raptors fan nation and just how badass we are. Stars of the game for the game last night. Jared Rhoden is my first star. I'm going to give him some shine, even though the rookie got the triple-double. So, Jared, you're my number one star. Jonathan Mogbo is my second star. Scotty Barnes, third star. AJ Lawson, fourth. And Garrett Temple, the old vet, I'm giving him the fifth star. Yeah. Geronimo Tempo saying, get out there and vote. Make your voice heard in the federal election for Canada, y'all, and don't vote for conservatives. Just vote for the party that can beat them. Y'all eat at Eastside Mario's. It's a Canadian business and company. If you're eating at Eastside Mario's, you're supporting Canada. So go ahead and feel good about eating at that franchise. There's other franchises you shouldn't eat at that are American-owned, American corporations. But Eastside Mario's, green light. You can go there. That's right. All right, let me get done here. Yeah, I'm done. Yeah, ESPN, your rookie rankings are stupid, and you should revise them very soon and quick because Jamal Shed and Jacoby Walter should have been on there, is what I'm saying right now. Cool Cat's saying, Lex, question. Can you enable closed caption? Sometimes I have to take off the volume. It would be nice to see the words. Any chance? Well, this is the problem with that. It's not that I don't have it on. I have it on already. It's that they don't close caption me while I'm live. They close caption me over the time period after my show's over. Like I've noticed that they won't have the closed captioning in the up until like maybe 2 or 3 hours after I finish my stream. So there's literally somebody who comes in and puts it on my stream, but they won't do it live. So unfortunately, I can't have it live while I'm on. But if you come and watch me later and I'm not live, it will be added by YouTube by a certain point. That's what I've noticed. I have it enabled. It's not that I don't have it on. It's just that YouTube doesn't do it in real time. It'll show up later on. They'll process my stream and they'll add it then. Is kind of what they do. They also process my chat and they add that later too. If you watch my stream immediately after it's over, you won't see the live chat. Yeah. Yes. Neil saying, woohoo, Spurs won, release the Kraken. That's what Raptors fans are saying today. All right, let's end this poll. It looks like it's overwhelming that you guys are for our hometown hero, AJ Lawson, putting that contract on him for next year out of Colin Castleton and Cole Schweider. Well, there you go. Looks like there's one vote for Castleton, and everybody else is firmly in the Lawson camp. So, yeah, there's ending the poll. There you go. Good job, guys. Thanks for voting and taking part in the daily Raptor Freak poll. 94% AJ Lawson, 5% for Colin Castleton. Let's go, Raptors. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching me today. I might be around on Discord in office hours today. If you want to come in and talk to me for a little bit, one-on-one, and or figure out the Discord more, I should be in there. And yeah, Mo, if you want to talk to me about it, we can do that. But I'm going to be watching Survivor first thing after the stream's over. All right. Thank you, guys. I'll be back tomorrow for the preview for the Dallas Mavericks game on Friday night. And we'll go over the latest lineup and the ref report and all that kind of great stuff on the Raptor Freak preview for Toronto at Dallas Friday night game, second to last game of the season. And then a reaction on Saturday. And then Sunday, another preview for the San Antonio game, the last game of the season, reaction on Monday. And then we go to off-season mode. And right now, for sure, Tuesdays and Thursdays will be a regular stream. But all the other days of the week, the content may be different. We'll have to see. I'm likely to do 3 or 4 streams a week is what I'm saying. But there's going to be like 2 or 3 days a week where I'm not going to do streams anymore this summer. And it's probably going to be Monday is for sure, and Wednesday. Those 2 days are 2 days I probably won't do regular streams on. I'll probably be doing a short content, and it may not be a live chat interactive. It may be just me coming on and doing the news for the Raptors for that day. So, yeah, it's going to shift. The interactivity with me and the channel is going to shift on to Discord, and it could be that this channel is going to change its content a little bit every morning. But it will hopefully still have everyday content at 9:30 in the morning is what I'm going to try and do. All right. Thank you, guys. Let's go, Raptors. Be proud, Raptors fan nation. You guys are awesome. We've done such a good job this season. I'm proud of all Raptors fans for the most part, especially the positive ones, the ones that root for the team correctly. We've done a good job for the culture. The 30th anniversary season has been a huge success. And there's more pride and more real, positive, strong Raptors fans than ever right now. If there's one thing that I've had a goal in making this Raptor Freak channel in the years that I've done it now, is to make Raptors Nation more positive, more supportive, and more good for the team in the right way, and getting more of the toxic behavior out of it and being a real one for your team. And I appreciate y'all for being a part of that and being the epitome of what I'm talking about. Because, the team wants to feel the love from the fans. They don't want to feel the hate and the bullshit. And, other fan nations can be toxic and do stupid shit, but Raptors fans should be supportive of their team and caring about them like they're family members, like they're good friends, like they're people that you care about, and not people that you just look at as like, oh, this dummy on this screen just missed this shot and they messed up my parlay. Yeah, fuck that shit. Fuck that energy. Be a real supportive fan and not a wannabe GM, not a degenerate gambler that looks at the players as commodities and only like if they don't come through with the bet, I hate them. These aren't the right kind of fans to be. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all, and maybe I'll see y'all on the Discord later today. If not, I'll see you tomorrow morning, 9:30 on YouTube. Let's go Raptors. Let's go Raptors. Let's go Raptors.